Well, it seems to get better now. So, can you guys hear me? Just give me a thumbs up on the chat, and we'll be good to go. Just waiting for your confirmation. My whole connection keeps dropping, but I'm not sure it's on my side. So it's Christian who's talking. I think on my side it looks better now. Hopefully on your side you will feel the same. Well, so we're just a few people connected, but I guess it's a messy connection that makes everyone disappear, I guess. No problem. We'll stay there, and then people will certainly reconnect and stay with us. All right, guys, that looks much better. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, that wasn't a connection issue. There was a stream configuration problem. That's the first time we use this tool, so maybe we're gonna have more problem in the future. But at least this session is under control. So if the sound is better and the image is fluid, we're just gonna start. Okay, guys, thanks for being here. So here today is a very special day. We are talking about a new project we have been working on during the lockdown period. Lockdown is a very special period for everyone. Not allowed to go in court, not allowed to practice sports. So it's the ideal period to do something else and to especially work on R&D, and this is especially what we've been doing. So we got big announcement to share with you guys. PAdS is one of them, but we have something happening with Baddy as well, with the Baddy project, which is going to the next step. So this is going to be there's going to be a dedicated event on Baddy. But right now, today is the introduction of something new that we call PAdS. So I'm going to change my screen right now. So PAdS is a small device which looks like this, and it's actually a very simple tool to build with a 3D printer or laser cutter. The technology inside is very simple as well, and the use cases that it enables are just tremendous. This is just so cool. So I've been playing with that during my lockdown period, and it is actually a very cool device. I mean, it's really, if you like to exercise at home, it really helps making the exercise more fun. It already exists, so it's not rocket science, but the solutions on the market are just I mean, the price is really high, and I didn't really like the approach where you have to push a button, which is mechanics, and then it is fragile. So I thought that we need to use the DIY open source technology that we have in order to create some cool stuff. So that's the aim with Baddy project. That's the aim of the company. We're focusing on sports and grasping this and there, the open source component which enable to make cool stuff accessible to everyone, and enabling to practice sports in a fun manner, and you know, to augment the experience, and keeping things accessible, and being accessible means as well being sustainable. That's why we really would like to propose for each one of the product that we share with the community to be DIY. So DIY is a very important factor. So yeah, that's cool. There is a chat room here that you can see, so don't hesitate to send your questions. It will be displayed in real time here, and I will be able to answer it, so don't hesitate to interrupt. It's supposed to be an interactive session, so you're gonna have a lot of questions, I guess. So this is an OpenPAD. It's made of a 3D printed box, and it's a laser cutted front part, and you mainly have three components. You have a LED display here, you have a sensor, which is a sonic sensor, a proximity sensor. It will detect if you have something, a hand or an object, a racket, which is close to it. And there is a LED here, a LED ring. I'm going to detail the technical aspects after that. But right now I'm gonna do a first small demo. So I'm switching on the device right now, so you'll be able to see the LED ring, just telling that it is waiting for another OpenPAD to be connected. So I'm going to switch on my second OpenPAD, and here we're going to see a new behavior happening. So another OpenPAD has been discovered. So I can connect in the same network of OpenPADs. As of today, 9 different pieces, but that's just a limitation in the software. I think in theory we can put much more, so that makes things even more fun. So what I'm gonna do right now is to show you how the sensor actually works. So very simply, you may put your hands on top of the sensor, and it's going to detect you, and then the game that we selected, well, this one is not a game, it's just a routine which enables to test the sensor. So I'm going to put away this pad, and I'm going to show you how the sensor actually works. I guess you can see that. So yeah, I'm gonna put my hand in front, and then you will see that it's detecting the proximity of the hand. So you are basically able to make two kind of interaction with the device. One is a short touch, the short detection, and the other one is a long touch. And yeah, as you can see. And if you want to go back to the menu, then you're going to use a long touch. So that's a very simple interface. So I just perform the long touch, and then you can see the menu is displaying again. So the root menu is a color menu, very simple. You're going to see a sequence of different color, and each color corresponds to a game. The red one is Catch the Rabbit, the green one is Catch the Rabbit Multi, when you have several rabbits that can appear at the same time on different pads. And the blue one is a Catch the Rabbit but Battle. That means you can play with another player or another team, and each one has to catch as many rabbits as possible. And in the end of the game you have the score, which is displayed on the LED display, and then you can see who won the game. So that's very basic stuff. As I mentioned, very simple technology, but the use cases that you can imagine behind are really tremendous. That's not only sports, but as well in cognitive learning. I've been using it for my kids, my own kids, to make them learn stuff from school, and I can tell you this is really fun, and it's really changing the way the kids can learn. So that's pretty nice stuff. Alright, let's select a game. Let's select the red one. So I'm going to make a demo. Yeah, here's the demo. So we've selected the red game. So what we have to do is to just start the game, and then we have a Catch the Rabbit. So just need to place your hand on top, and it will detect any movement on top. So here is very simple and easy, because the two pads are close to each other. But the idea is to put them in a longer distance. So I'm going to show you here on the video here. Click background video, and you can see here that's for physical training. It's very useful, not only with kids, but as well if you are doing racket sports like badminton or squash or anything. You can put a cover on your racket, as shown on the video here behind me, and then you can attach the pad to the net and practice your exercise as shown. So going back to to the overall presentation. Yeah. So here is my just two tiny pads. I'm going to add one, so I'm just gonna leave the game, and I'm going to put another pad, and principle will stay the same, but the idea is to show you how you can just very simply add more pads to your network and just increase the gameplay and the fun, whatever the exercise that you wanna do. Right. Let's select as an example. Well, let's go back to the red one. So I'm gonna wait for the red color to be displayed. I'm going to select this one, and hello. Oops. Okay. I'm just gonna do something else. Just gonna relaunch the game. All right. So last pads wasn't detected properly. So you see it's very early stage. So as you can see, even if you plug another pad, the network is able to recognize it, and then you are able to catch the rabbit with among different number of pads. Well, what is really cool here is you can see there is this distance between the sensor on your hand, which really makes sense because you don't have to touch anything. So we all know the situation with the COVID and the virus that we don't want to spread. So that makes things really relevant as of today. What is really cool is that once you catch the light, the handover time between different pads is really fast. So it's fluid. It may happen sometimes that we have some Wi-Fi routine interrupting the flow, but it's very rare. I would say the quality with regards to the low-level open source components used, the experience is really cool. So once I have finished the game, it's telling game over. I don't know if you noticed, but there is a timer which is displayed here, which indicates the time between handovers. And you can set up a limit. In that case, it is 4 seconds between different touches. And if you are not able to touch the other pad to catch the rabbit fast enough, then it's going to be game over. So that's the first game that we have, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to leave that game right now. I'm going to enter the menu again and select the red game. Oh, the green game. Sorry. So green game is cool. It's a catch the rabbit, but this time you may have different pads that display the rabbit, so it's a kind of all-you-can-eat experience. Yeah, sometimes the sensor is so sensitive that it catches the camera which is on top, so we may have a strange behavior happening. But anyway, this gives you an idea of what you can do with it. So let's try the green game. So I'm starting my game, and then once I see the green rabbit, I just need to catch it. Yep. And here you have a counter as well on top, which is displaying the number of time you just hit your target. So you need to be fast, and here is very simple because the pads are close to each other. So that's to give you an overview of the second games that you can enable with that kind of pad. The third game is the same one. I'm gonna wait for the end of the game. No, just going to end it. All right. The blue game is the same one, but you have two colors to catch. You have blue or red, whether you are team A or team B, and it's catch the rabbit, but you need to catch your color, and you will see all the pads, they will display a different color, whether blue or red, and whether you catch the blue light or a red light, you're going to increase the score of your team. So here imagine I'm the red team, then I need to absolutely catch the red circle, and you need to go fast. That's really nice point. A nice game. You work with reflex, and there's a lot of fun. The potential here is really cool. All right, let's leave it from here. All right, do you guys have some questions? Please don't hesitate to ask on the chat room. I'm just gonna have a look at the. Just gonna have a look. That looks much better. Do you guys have any questions? Did you plan to give the possibility to replace EHR S04 by big push button in the future? Oh, good point. Well, actually, we've been testing different kind of buttons. We've been testing the capacitive sensor, and we have been testing as well some mechanics button. As we can say for now, I'm just going to switch off. What we can say for now is that capacitive sensor is not reliable enough. Well, at least you have to tune it, and it's not easy to tune it. And I'm afraid that the people, when they will have to mount their pad, they will face too much difficulties to tune their capacitive sensor. We have tested push buttons, but what I don't like behind this is to use some mechanics, and using mechanics, especially in sports, it's I mean the possibility to break it down is very likely to happen. So by having a proximity sensor with no touch as well, I believe would be a right choice. Having that said, this is a community-based project. If you feel that push buttons is better for your use case, why not having a special release involving a mechanical button? Sure. Do we have any other questions for after this demo? I'm just gonna wait a bit. It doesn't like sweet at all. Oh, water. Oh, don't put this in a water. But actually, to have something waterproof would be cool. Capacitive sensor would make sense in that case for a waterproof solution. But to avoid putting sweat on the device, you may fix it as I did on the net here, as shown on the video here. I fixed it on the net, and in that case, well, you don't have much chance to put some sweat on it. That's for sure. All right. Do you have any? Thank you for your question, Mr. Moray Wozinski. Waiting for maybe other questions. Lexan button, maybe. Definitely. I mean, you as you will see, this is very, very, very simple stuff behind. I'm going to go into details. It is very ridiculously simple. You can put whatever button you want. The difference will be in the electronics or in the code. I believe the first release will be this one. If we release something for the whole community, at least we'll release the plan so that everyone can make it. If you have access to a 3D printer or laser cutter, all the electronics components are available. So that's really cool. If you know how to build stuff, the DIY stuff, you will be able to make it work and test your own switches as well. All right. All right. I'm gonna go to the next steps. Maybe I can focus on more technical stuff. That's an open pad. This is for the box part. Oh, I mentioned it later. This is a battery. That's the battery of an open pad. This is a standard 650 battery. This is very standard. This is overkill. I mean, this is really overkill for such a device like this. I mean, I charged it, so you have one unit inside a pad. I charged it 8 months ago. And I have to say that it's still alive. So it's still up and running. So this is very strong. This is overkill, but this is really nice not to have to charge your device all the time. That's really cool. And if I look at other solutions that exist in the market, the battery stuff is really bad, and it really impacts the experience. So that's cool. That's first point. Energy, battery. So here is the laser cutted front panel. So very simple to build. Here is the inside structure on which you're gonna fix all the electronics components. You can 3D print it or you can laser cut it. I 3D printed it because with the lockdown I didn't have access anymore to the lab. And here is the box. 3D printed. That is really easy to build. So everything will be shared on a GitHub. It's still private because there are some stuff we need to remove. There are some swearings in the code which I would like to remove, you know, because to make it really nice for everyone. So it's like a personal code, but I would like to standardize it a bit before releasing public. Alright, that's for the structure part. Let's go into the electronics. Very simple. That's a very common LED panel. So there is a question mark whether we're gonna keep this one or not into the bill of material. That's for the battery. So it's a simple battery holder for your 18650 battery. That's a common sensor that you were mentioning, Mr. Murray. I like it because it's very commonly used. It's not difficult to tune it. Not all the sensors are the same, but they are quite consistent between each other. So if we are getting to release some DIY kits for everyone, we'll make sure that it comes from the same manufacturer to avoid any distance in consistency between sensitiveness of the sensor. Okay, so that's the sensor HCSR04 that you were mentioning. This is the LED ring. Very common, you can find it everywhere. eBay, Alibaba, all the online platform. Oh, that's the historic ESP 8266 from Baddy. We do like this one. Well, I personally like this one. This is just great. This is the greatest. We can find smaller one, but we do have a good relationship with the manufacturers who are building those little circuits. So I like to keep this one, but if you guys like to use something else, you are really welcome to propose something that fits. That's a power switch, very classical. That's a small format. Obviously some wires, some power connectors. We as well have some some screws, well, just a limited number here. And that's it. That's an open pad. So as you can see, very accessible and very simple. Let's have a look from the inside once we have built all the components and put it, attached it to the frame. Up. We're gonna do this here, put this in a box. Up. Alright. So you will ask a question, which is why don't you put any PCB? Well, that's a good one. At least there will be a PCB in the future, that's for sure. But right now, I think this is not useful for a V0, where we are just trying to build a community around a project. So we will first build a community with the DIY experimented guys. And guys or girls, obviously. There are, you find some women as well in the community. We need to welcome them. So for everyone, every DIY hobbyist. And then in the next release, we'll maybe do a PCB. I will go to the roadmap section right after. So right now I'm sharing a frame, which was assembled with the electronic components. So you have a LED ring, you have the HC sensor, and you have the LED front panel, which is right there. And behind you will see all the ugly wire, which we need to stow, obviously. But it's not that ugly if you look at it. See that those are the connectors that are going to connect to the power switch. Here's the battery main holder. You recognize your ESP, and here is your HC sensor, which is attached to the frame. It is very simple stuff. And if in the future we are not sure to even need this one, if we think we don't need to have a timer or counter, then we may as well remove this. Then have smaller pads as well, and have a more simple wiring diagram behind, not even needing a PCB at all. So the wiring stuff is really ugly as of now, but it's no PCB, so that's a cool thing. You don't need to buy any PCB. So that's pretty cool. Regarding question how to upload the code, well, this time we have been activating the OTA Wi-Fi upload on this. So you may upload your code using Wi-Fi this time. That's really cool. Alright, this is how it looks. Okay, you put this inside a box, okay, after stowing the wire, obviously. And it should work. I think it should work right now. Let's give it a try. So I'm going to connect the power switch right now. Okay, I'm going to put the battery inside as well. Okay, let's have a look. Let's see if we have the Bonaldi effect. Oh, we got almost a Bonaldi effect. No, it's working. Yeah, right. Excellent. Alright, very simply integrated. Obviously, we will have all together as a community to make it better from an integration standpoint. But as for now, you can build it very easily. Do you guys have any questions? I think we have very technical guys here connected. Please ask your questions. You'll be very welcome. Or we can directly jump to the roadmap section if you guys have no questions. I think it's gonna be relevant. All right. And here's the roadmap. So this is what we'll put inside at least the V0. Of the open pads. So on the V0 release, which we propose to release now, So you're gonna have basically all the stuff that I just showed before. And you're gonna have the 3 games available, which Catch the Rabbit Multi, and the Battle. And depending the success of the story with the V0, we'll propose to have a V1 to be released hopefully early 2021, with full DIY kits available with a PCB to have a real smooth integration. As the idea is to have a mounting time which is less than 20 minutes, so it's something very cool. Do we need this? Do we need do we need this one? Do we need the LED display here? Oops, I'm sorry. Do we need the LED display here? I'm not sure, but we will see. We'll just compare the different experience of everyone and make a choice. But we may get rid of this in the future, and have smaller pads like cubes, which will be very nice in terms of design, I guess. We'll increase the number of games. As I mentioned, sports is what we aim to target as a use case. Cardio, but I believe, because we have experienced that, and there are also solutions in the market as well, that are using this technology for cognitive learning and cognition training. And I believe this is a very, very strong proposal that we have here. It is to have something DIY, very accessible, and that has this quality in terms of gameplay and usability, which will serve all the cognitive learning community. So that's really, really cool to know this. And basically, yeah, we need to have a web server to configure all the different game parameters. Excellent. Yeah, as I mentioned, you don't need any app to play with PAdS. This is app-free kind of device, kind of gears. So very, very nice stuff. I mean, if you compare with other devices, connected device like that, the trend, I would say maybe 10 years before, the trend would have been to absolutely connect your phone on this device, and that was the approach that we took with Baddy as well, with Baddy project. But looking at it right now, I think most of the people are not willing to connect their phone to their device. That's the reality. And if you ask yourself that question, between choosing a device that is working without an app, without your smartphone, or a device which is obliging you, I mean, forcing you to connect your phone and data in order to use it, I believe the choice will be very simple to make. Obviously, we choose a simple device which is not connecting to your phone, and this is the choice that we will make with PAdS. All right. What are the roles of the V0? Well, we will launch the project, that's for sure. Whether we just going to lower a bit. All right. We will for sure launch the project, but it really depends the number of participants. What we will do will depend on whether we have more than 50 people being part of it. If we have 50 participants willing to get a kit, their own the kit produced for them, then we will in that case organize something and make a batch order to our suppliers to propose DIY kits which are affordable, pre-mounted for everyone, which will be ideal. But if we have less than 50 participants, we will not be in a position to do so. I mean, it's not worth it, I would say. So it would mean that the project is not of interest for enough people. So 50 people, 50 participants is the limit that we would like to set for this project. So it really depends how much people will really answer positively to the project. we do believe that the project is really awesome. The possibilities behind it are really tremendous, but there is always a but. You cannot expect how it will be welcomed by the people using it. So basically, the next 4 weeks, so we will wait till the end of December, we'll advertise about the project. We'll ask you guys to talk about OpenPaths project around you. There are many use cases behind. This is why you may communicate to large communities around you in order to increase the number of participants to the project. So as we mentioned, that's very simple, no rocket science. What can really change, what can be a game changer, is who is the community that will support the project. So yeah, that's the message behind this slide. Let's have some Q&A session. My live chat is not updating, so I need to keep an eye on the live chat on another window. All right. If you're happy with what you've seen, just let me know. I can see that Mr. Murray is. That sounds great. That sounds good. That sounds good for me as well, Baddy. Okay. So please ask your questions. It's Q&A. I'm gonna stay open during the next 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna have to leave. So please let me know if you have any questions, if it's okay with you, if you have any doubt. Then if it's okay, I can close the session. If you guys have no question. How to register? Oh, that's very simple. You may go to the Baddy website. I'm going to share the link. Baddy.space. There is a section dedicated to OpenPaths. You can bring your email. We don't do anything with emails. We don't send promotions. We just share news. Okay, it's we do not intend to use your data to flood you with the commercials and to share with third parties. We don't do a shit like that. It's just the way to register. You may register using a GitHub as well. We do have a GitHub which is going to be open tonight, where you're gonna have a look at the STL files, the BOOM, and the code. Oh, I didn't mention the code. Maybe I can have a look at the code very quickly. Just give me 2 sec. Source main. Okay. So if you can see my window, here is a code section for the technology experts. Yes. All right. So that's a section of the code, and inside the section, I'm not going to go into detail, and just to present you how the code is structured. How structured is the code? Sorry. So you have here in this section, line 2800, you have all the routine for a game. So game 1, game 2, game 3 here, and it is in that case very simple to test your own games using the same structure. So I'm not telling this is super easy. You need to know how to code, but at least it's giving you some indication on where you need to put your code if you would like to put your own game. So you need to add your game inside the colored menu, and you need to specify the runtime here of your game at this section. You need to specify the code related to your game here. And that's how the code is structured. Going back to the Q&A right now. All right. OpenPath button on the website doesn't seem to work. Oh, that's really bad news. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. I know what happened. I know what happened. Give me 2 sec. I need to change that. Right. In 2 minutes it shall be accessible again. Wow. We have faced many technical problems with the connections. No, the website is not working. Come on. That's too much Bonaldi effect, as we say in France. I don't know if you know Jérôme Bonaldi, a very famous French guy. As we say during rehearsal, it used to work, and when it comes alive, it never works. And that's the same here. Which page? No, seems to work. I don't understand. The link is configured properly. Okay. You know what? This will deserve special investigation. You may retry. You may retry now, and please let me know if you still have a problem joining the page. Okay. Do we still have any questions? So yeah, just to summary, you may contribute and be inside the community in 2 ways. You can put your email, drop your email, and then we'll do a special list where we put everyone informed of what's going on. The second way of being inside the community is through GitHub. Obviously, you may join us as well on the GitHub. Good. Okay. So if we don't have any other questions, I think it will be time to close the session, and I see you around. I'm not sure what's the best time to have a live session like this. Maybe on the weekend, Saturday or Sundays, people are more available, because right now it's still office time, I guess. So people are more doing this at spare time. So we'll see for next time if we do this during the weekend. But right now I think the connection is much better, and the experience is really cool. So it was a pleasure to have you guys, and to present you with to introduce you with the PAdS project. So remember, we need 50 people to participate with the V0, and it depends on you. We will do as much as we can to advertise about the project, to communicate about the project. We are not putting that much ad budget. I mean, we really rely on the word of mouth and community. We really want to work with the people who are motivated and who understand what is at stake here. That's a community project, and we wanted to keep it that way. All right, thanks very much, and I see you soon. I'm gonna switch off in 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Cheers.